Popping up in a bit of space. Chance maybe for an effort from the edge of the box, and a fifth goal for Germany.
Will Real Madrid miss Toni Kroos? Despite being in the best of form, the German midfielder retired from football at the end of the 2023-24 season. Why did he do this? The reason will shock you. The midfielder has had a great career spanning 17 years, which has seen him win 34 trophies and become the most decorated German football player as at the time of making this video. However, Kroos didn't have it easy. He had to deal with rejection from one of the most successful teams in club football, who rejected Kroos. This is the untold story of Toni Kroos. He's doing everything right. The pace in his passes is great and he sees everything. It's nearly perfect, legendary Dutch and Barcelona manager Johan Cruyff said after Toni Kroos's breathtaking performances in the 2014 World Cup. That's high praise coming from Cruyff, and it showed how far Kroos had come in his career, and even at that point, Kroos was just getting started. Speaking of starts, the midfielder had an early start in his football journey, as his father was a youth coach. After playing for a local club, Kroos moved to Bayern and joined their youth team. He was impressive, and Bayern realised he was not the kind of player that should be playing in youth teams. So when he was 17, Bayern promoted him to their first team. Kroos had the backing of legends Gerd Müller and Franz Beckenbauer, which put pressure on him. Kroos had incredible mental strength. The pressure didn't break him, but transformed him into a gem. The youngster proved that Müller and Beckenbauer were right to back him, as on his debut, he provided 2 assists in 18 minutes. Kroos couldn't land a starting position in the Bayern team, despite how good he was, but he was in and out of the team that won the Bundesliga in 2008. He was competing against some incredible players like Bastian Schweinsteiger. Bayern didn't want to disturb his development. So, to aid his development, Bayern decided to loan Kroos to Bayer Leverkusen in January 2009 for a season and a half. Kroos joined Leverkusen as a boy, but he left as a man. He quickly became part of the first team there and was both scoring and assisting. In 2010, when he was with Leverkusen, Kroos was called up to the senior Germany team in January. He played his first game for the team in March and was part of Germany's World Cup team, where he made several appearances as a substitute. Slowly, but surely, the world was noticing Kroos, but he was far from being a finished product. But he wasn't far from it. When he returned to Bayern in 2010, Kroos became a regular. However, it was when Jupp Heynckes, his former coach at Leverkusen, joined that he became the heart of Bayern and the replacement of Bastian Schweinsteiger. The German midfielder had 51 appearances in the 2010-11 season and played a key part in the seasons to follow. He was the core of the team that won the treble in 2012-13 and the 2014 Bundesliga. During this period, there were reports that Kroos wasn't happy at Bayern and felt that he wasn't valued as the players Bayern signed. Kroos felt his club rejected him and decided to ply his trade elsewhere. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the last time that Kroos would be rejected. However, the World Cup was coming, and Kroos made performing in it his priority. He was excellent in the qualifying stages. His best performances in that qualifying round came against Ireland, where he scored 2 goals, and Austria, where he scored a goal. Whatever he did during the qualifying stages paled in comparison with what he did in the main tournament itself. He used the World Cup to show he would be an asset to whatever club signed him. From the first match in the tournament, Kroos was electric. He assisted Germany's second goal in their opening match victory against Portugal. When things got tough in the quarter-finals against France, it was Kroos that created the goal that his teammate Mats Hummels scored. Kroos scored 2 goals in Germany's 7-1 demolition of Brazil and created his 4th assist of the competition for Thomas Müller's opening goal. That performance was Kroos's best in the competition, and he was awarded the man of the match. Kroos became a legend in Brazil with that performance, and they nicknamed him Garçom, meaning waiter, due to his elegant passing which found attackers. With his performances at the 2014 World Cup, different clubs offered to sign him. Kroos chose Manchester United and had even agreed personal terms with them. Then, something changed. The man that pushed for Kroos at United, David Moyes, got sacked, and the replacement, Louis van Gaal, didn't want anything to do with him. So Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid's manager, pushed for them to sign him, and it was one of the best decisions Madrid made in that 2014-15 season. Real Madrid matches always go to Kroos's rhythm. He's one of the most important players at the club because he manages the ball and the rhythm with which we play. said his former teammate Casemiro. It was an excellent way to describe Kroos. In Madrid, he wasn't a regular source of goals and a high-volume assist provider, but what he brought to Los Blancos was far more important to them. Kroos brought control to the club. In his first season alone, he completed nearly 2,300 passes. What a signing. He even scored 2 goals and provided 15 assists in the 55 games he played. He was an integral part of the sensational Madrid midfield trio, which had James Rodriguez and Luka Modric. The trio were a crucial part that inspired Real Madrid to a 22-game-winning run that season, with Kroos playing a big part in Real's 2014 FIFA Club World Cup win as he led the tournament in assists. With his World Cup win and performance for Real Madrid, he was named in the FIFA FIFPro World 11 and was in the UEFA Team of the Year. Madrid had dismissed Ancelotti before the start of the 2015-16 season, and their new manager, Rafael Benitez, believed Kroos was better in the holding midfield role, similar to what Xabi Alonso played for Madrid. Benitez did this as Kroos didn't have pace, but he had an incredible passing vision, even if he preferred short passes to keep control of the game. Despite not liking his new position, Kroos didn't cause any controversy and endured his new role. Then things changed again for Kroos. What happened this time? Madrid hired Zidane in the middle of the 2015-16 season, and he enjoyed his preferred midfield position. His performances improved, and he was important in Madrid's run to winning the 2015-16 Champions League. Winning the Champions League that season made Kroos the first ever German to lift the Champions League with 2 different clubs, and he was just getting started. Kroos would be the first German to win the Champions League trophy 3 times when he won it again with Madrid in the 2016-17 season. He was important in that Champions League campaign, just as he was in Madrid's La Liga win that season and was the most used player that season. Kroos won the Champions League again in the 2017-18 season, and he was in fine form going to the World Cup in that summer. Well, he was about to get the shock of his life. Despite his incredible performance, in Germany's second group stage match against Sweden, where he scored a breathtaking free kick goal to keep Germany in the competition. Germany crashed out in the group stages, and Kroos was furious at the media's criticism of the team and himself. Were those criticisms correct? Kroos started out playing a more attacking position in the midfield, which allowed him to score and assist more often. However, due to his versatility, he has played as a deep-lying playmaker, box-to-box, and a defensive midfielder. He is a brilliant midfielder who relies more on his intelligence than his athleticism. This isn't to say Kroos wasn't physical or athletic. He was, but without pace, he needed to rely more on his technique. The technique he created to get past opponents, despite not having pace, was so brilliant that it got its own name. Fans called it the Kroos Shuffle, and it involved Kroos immediately breaking into a short run when he received a pass under pressure. The quickness of it allowed him to get past opponents and create space for himself. It was a risky technique, but Kroos made it look easy. With this technique and his passing range, crossing and set pieces, Kroos was magnificent, a true midfield maestro. One minute he is playing short passes, and the next minute he is playing a long ball, which opens up the opponents for a goal. An example of this was his assist to Vinicius in the first leg of the 2023-24 Champions League semi-final. So, what did Uli Hoeneß and Lothar Matthäus mean when they said Kroos was outdated? Were they too harsh in their criticism? Was this why he wanted to retire later on? While Kroos retired from Germany earlier, he went on to record more success with Real Madrid. He won yet another La Liga title and another Champions League title in the 2021-2022 season, and repeated the same feat yet again in the 2023-2024 season. The midfielder announced his retirement from football despite still having the capability to play at the top level. So why did he retire when he could still play so well? 2 things. 1. Kroos wanted to retire from football on a high note, and he did get this in part. He ended his career in the season Madrid won La Liga and the Champions League. Unfortunately, he couldn't do the same with Germany after Germany's coach, Julian Nagelsmann, asked him to return to the national team for the 2024 Euro. While Kroos was spectacular in the competition, Germany ended up losing to eventual winners Spain. The second reason he chose to retire was he was tired of being away from his family because of football. It is because of him wanting to be with his family that he even decided he wouldn't be a coach for a senior team. So what next for him? The midfield maestro has decided to work as a youth coach for Madrid, but will he change his mind later on and coach a senior team? He has the intelligence for it. So what will Kroos do? Or have we seen the last of him in senior football? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more.